Okay, so today's video is going to be different than the typical type of videos that I drop on the channel here, and you may notice that already. I have a different chair in the background here. So we will be reviewing an Odinlake ergonomic office chair. This model here is the Ergo Pro 633, and if you are at all familiar with this model, this is indeed the one that comes with the footrest. Let's go ahead and jump in. All right, so first things first, the chair itself has quite a few things going for it, and I can already tell you that the recliner, just the recliner that's on here, is one of my favorite things about this particular chair, among many other things that it presents or that it has. But anyway, let me just start the review of the chair itself and share with you what my experience has been like using this chair, and I can already tell you that I absolutely love it. Starting off here with some quick specs, right? The overall height of the chair can go up to 50 inches, and I myself stand a little over 6'3" and I'm very comfortable sitting in this. So for those of you who are taller than the average man's height, you should be just fine. Now, as far as the setup goes, Odinlake advertises about 10 minutes setup time for this chair, but in my personal experience, it took me actually about, I'm going to say 25 minutes, because you figure by the time you read the manual and go to the chair, and set something up and then go back to the manual and then go back to the chair, that whole back and forth, you're probably going to go ahead and increase that time from 10 minutes to, I'm just going to say give yourself about 20 to 30 minutes for setup time. But I'm going to say that it's not particularly hard or particularly difficult to set it up, because different parts are pretty straightforward. Like the different parts of the chair are pretty straightforward and they fit right in. After the setup, as you can see here, the chair itself is a very modern chair, right? It has that modern look and that very attractive look. As you can see here, it truly is a beautiful design. It will run you about $500, so $499, and that's the regular price. But periodically, Odinlake actually has deals on their website running it. As of now, for example, it's running at $449 if you were to grab one now. Now, beyond that, I will have a link in the description for a discounted price for it, so make sure to check out the link, even if you were to purchase this at a later time when it went back to the $500 regular price. Now, let's go ahead and talk capacity here, right? This is built to withstand up to 300 pounds, and for a big guy like myself, I have no issues sitting in this chair. I'm currently about 228 pounds, at least from a few days ago when I weighed myself. So it can definitely handle some weight. You do have a tension knob at the bottom of the chair here, and it will allow you to play, with the resistance of the chair, so that you can always adjust based off of your weight or your height or whatever the case may be, to just, play with that tension and make it so that it's more comfortable to you personally. But anyway, that 300 pounds capacity is pretty good, I would say, right? It's a lot in my opinion, and you can definitely feel that, it can sustain that weight just based off of the build of the chair itself, right? It feels super sturdy, it's very, very solid, and it's also very noticeably heavy. I only have my previous chair to compare to this, and my previous chair, I believe, could take up to 230 pounds in terms of capacity, and is a much lighter chair than this one, which weighs about 49 pounds. So this chair is about 49 pounds according to Odinlake. Now, in terms of the quality of the chair itself, I mentioned that it's a modern looking chair. It's also a very well built chair. I'm going to say that it feels very well made and feels overall very high quality. Quite a few details, line up properly here, from the material used to the way, the stitches go around the parts of the chairs that need to be stitched up. The seat cushion, for example, is one of that part, and it's very comfortable. It's super thick, allowing for a good level of cushion when you just press on it, even with just your bare hand, right? It's very, very thick and full. Now, according to Odinlake, they used a very high density sponge to cushion and other earth friendly material that are smooth and elastic to improve, the comfort. And so far, honestly, I'm going to say that it feels very comfortable. Now, let's go to the footrest here, which is one of the features that truly, make this chair stand out, right? It's actually hidden in a way that doesn't necessarily protrude with the overall look of the chair, or this part of the chair, the sitting cushion right here. You have to pull it out all the way to extend it and sit so that you can put your feet on top of it. I like that it does feel like it's, gliding as you pull out. It does feel comfortable, but I just wish they used a different, something different than just the plastic that they have on here, because it's pretty hard plastic. Still comfortable, but I feel like it could be even more comfortable if, they had decided to go with a different material. Although I don't know what it would look like if they had tried with a softer material in terms of the overall look. But in either case, I'm fine with it, because, it just feels solid and it does the job. When you put the chair in a recliner position and pull that footrest, then lay on it, it feels very comfortable, especially for things like, playing video games, or, specifically in my case, for watching movies without necessarily feeling the need to lay back in the couch or something. So if you have this chair, you just lay on it and you are good to go. The recliner, which is, again, one of the most popular features, will allow for up to 45 degrees recline. So that's pretty neat. Now, for the armrests that we have here on the chair, they are adjustable, just like other parts of the chair. You can push this button right here and it will allow the armrest to go up and down. It will slide up and down depending on your comfort zone or where you want to keep it at. And you can also tilt it open or tilt it wide or tilt it back in or make it a little bit more narrow. You can kind of play with it, and you can also slide this forward or back depending on your comfort level. So you can make adjustments to all of these just so that you are comfortable. Now, speaking of comfort again, I absolutely love the overall level of comfort that is provided by this chair, right? It truly feels like something different than what I had been experiencing in my previous chair. Now, don't get me wrong, that chair is also comfortable. I still have it for my second station there with my other computers, but this one feels just a bit more comfortable. It feels also fairly wide, right? It's about 28 inches in terms of width, so it's fairly wide. I'm not necessarily, a very thick individual, so when I do sit here, there is a gap between my side and the chair or the armrest. So it's pretty good news for people who are bigger than me, meaning if your body type is a little bit on the thicker side, then you should still be able to sit here comfortably. Now, as far as the backrest goes, it's definitely a great support. It offers great levels of support, which even just looking at the backrest there, you can see that it's fairly flexible as you push against it. It has this very interesting, elastic mesh texture here. It feels very, very comfortable, especially when you're pushing to recline and sit in a chair. I do like the headrest that we have here. It's also adjustable. You can slide it up and down, and it can also have a great level of tilting. You can tilt it all the way up or all the way down, and combine that with sliding it up and down depending on your comfort level. Again, now as far as when you're already sitting in the chair and adjusting, you have different ways of adjusting the chair, right? So you have one of the knobs that you can use for height adjustment. So that adjustment handle will make it possible for you to, go up and down. And you can also rotate, even if you're sitting in a chair, you can rotate your body if you were reaching for something. And the plastic ring that's on the back there will still allow for you to be fairly flexible with your movements without necessarily the chair feeling too rigid and impeding some of the movements that you may be doing to reach for something behind you. Now, I have mentioned a lot about the recliner, and this lever here would be for that because it would allow for you to lock, to push the chair, put it in the, decline way where you can lock it into position and keep the chair in that position, right? So even if you were to get off the chair, it would just stay in that position. You don't necessarily have to use it, right? You can always just use a recliner as needed, and then when you sit back, when you sit normally, it would just come right back into place, right into the initial position without any issues. So that was my review of the Odinlake Ergo Pro 633. Of course, I'm certainly hoping that you found this video informative. Again, as I said at the beginning, I absolutely love this chair. I completely switched from my old chair, the one that you're used to seeing here. Completely switched from that to this chair. And of course, if you want to pick up this chair, make sure to check out the website and check out the link. I'm going to have a discount code down in the description. As of now, as I mentioned earlier, it is currently selling for $450 as opposed to the regular $500. So make sure to check out the website for the most up-to-date price. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. I'm going to catch you in the comment section. Like I said, make sure to comment. I will catch you in the comment section. I'm also going to catch you in the next video. Up until that next video, of course, as always, stay safe out there.